Tall palms growing in tropical and Mediterranean climates. Small tulips growing in temperate regions. Despite the contrast in appearance, both palm and tulip belong to the same large group of plants, the Monocotyledons. It is a large group too. Wheat is a member. Growing 3 or 4 feet high, it is one of the most important plants in the world. And maize, 6 or 8 feet tall, thick stems and large heavy cobs from which we get Indian corn. Sugarcane, a tropical plant growing 12 or 15 feet high. The long stems provide us with sugar. Like wheat and maize, sugarcane is one of the grasses. Grasses, fields, plains and hills covered with them. Although there is much variety in their appearance, all these plants and all other monocotyledons show a number of likenesses. These can be seen in how they germinate, in their roots and in their leaves and flowers. We look at some of these common characteristics beginning with germination and taking as an example the maize. Monocotyledons germinate with a shoot or plumule erect and lance-like. This is a maize seed with a fruit wall removed so that growth can be seen more easily. First, the root appears and pushes downwards. Then the young shoot or plumule appears. As more roots grow and absorb food from the soil, the plumule pushes upwards. Erect and lance-like, it breaks through the surface of the soil into the light and air. This kind of early growth is typical of monocotyledons. Let us now follow the growth of the roots, first in the maize and then in the iris. The characteristics are a primary root and a number of adventitious roots which grow from the base of the stem. This is the primary root. The tip, with its special covering, can be seen as well as the root hairs. The adventitious roots now grow from the stem. Soon, they will become as long as the primary root. This is the underground part of an iris. In this plant, a thick stem or rhizome grows in the soil. From this rhizome, the adventitious roots grow, producing a typical monocotyledon root system. Above ground now to look at the leaves of maize, iris and gladiolus. There are 2 characteristics to note. The leaves are long and narrow, and the veins run from tip to base. Maize leaves shape like those of all the grasses. They join directly onto the main stem without a stalk. Veins run from tip to base. Both these characteristics are also shown by the iris. Notice how the leaves give protection both to younger leaves and to the flowers. The veins run the whole length of the leaves. Erect and lance-like, they continue to grow up into the light and air. Maize is taken as an example of pollination in grasses. In these grasses, the flowers are wind-pollinated. These are the male flowers in a group or inflorescence at the top of the maize plant. The male flowers consist of stamens only. The stamens grow and display the anthers which contain pollen. The anthers ripen. They open and turn inside out, thus exposing the pollen which is wind-borne. Some of this pollen reaches the silks of the female flowers. In the coloured flowers of monocotyledons, we often see the parts in threes. A tulip flower opens. There are 6 coloured leaves, 6 stamens, and a stigma with 3 parts. The iris has 3 outer coloured leaves curving downwards and 3 inner leaves curving inwards. It has 3 petal-like styles, each curving over an anther. As the flower is turned, notice the dark lines of the honey guides. Just above the anther, on the style, is a flap which is actually the stigma, the upper surface of which is designed to receive the pollen of another flower. The pointer shows one of the stamens beneath the petal-like style. The gladiolus is rather similar. 3 inner and 3 outer leaves of the flower open and reveal 3 stigmas and 3 stamens. A large and interesting group, the Monocotyledons. It contains many useful plants, such as wheat and maize, and also many very beautiful ones, like the palm tree, the snowdrop, and the tulip.